Welcome back to the Sunny Stampin' Studio. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this bright, bold, and fun set of thank you notes. As you can see, there's 3 thank you notes, each packaged in its own clear, translucent envelope. The envelopes are held together by a cardstock topper, which can be easily removed so that the recipient of this gift can then use the envelopes to give away these thank you cards to their friends and family. Why don't we get started? I'm going to show you first off what the cards look like. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and made 2. As you can see, they're backed on a scalloped square, and then they open like this, so you can just write your message inside. To make each note, you're going to need a scalloped square. Now, I die cut this using my Big Shot and the scalloped square die. This is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inches. And then I punched a hole in each of the scallops using my 1/16 inch handheld circle punch. I'm also going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's 3 3/4 inches by 7 1/2 inches. So when it's folded in half, you have a little note card that's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm just going to lay that down in front of me on my grid paper, and I'm going to grab the imaging sheet from my Stamp-A-Majig. Because I want these to be thank you notes, I'm using the Thank You Kindly stamp set, and I've already pre-set it up on my imaging sheet. You then align your T-tool with the corner of your imaging sheet, and once you're happy with the placement, you remove the imaging sheet. You're going to ink up your stamp in basic black classic ink, and then you're going to stamp directly onto your cardstock. Now the nice thing is, as long as you keep your Stamp-A-Majig in place and you don't shift it at all, if your greeting does not stamp perfectly, you can always go back over it with the stamp, as you saw I did, because the U in the word you didn't stamp properly. Now, once you have your greeting stamped, you can then go ahead and flip it over, and using snail adhesive in each corner and a little bit in the center, you can then center and stick this to your scallop square. And this now creates your note card. Now, I die cut a flower out of a coordinating cardstock, and in this case it's Pink Passion, and I use Stampin' Up's Bigs XL Flower Folds die, which you can kind of see here in the video. So you're going to cut a flower that coordinates with the scallop square. You're also going to need some of the felt flower fusions. I have an old olive and a pumpkin pie here, and then I have another larger pumpkin pie and a second small old olive. The first thing I'm going to do is layer my big old olive flower on top of my pink cardstock flower, and I just want to pierce a hole through the center using my paper piercing tool. I'm now going to layer my orange flower on top, and then I'm going to grab a large pink rhinestone brad, which I'm going to put through the center of the two felt flowers, like so. And then I'm going to put through that hole that I just pierced in my cardstock, like that. You can then, because there's a score line on the flowers, you can then very gently fold up the petals, like that. For my smaller flower, I'm just going to grab one of my orange rhinestone brads, and here I found a medium-sized one. Now these rhinestone brads come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, and it really doesn't matter much which size you use. So if you're making a bunch of these cards, just use different sizes. So once you have your flowers assembled, you're now going to grab your mini glue dots, and I'm just going to press my rhinestone brad to my mini glue dot to pick up a dot, and then I just position and stick it to my card. And I'm going to do the same with this second flower. I actually got a mini glue dot stuck to my finger there. Okay, so once you have your note card finished, and you've got all 3 of them, you're going to take Stampin' Up's clear cellophane envelopes. Now these come 52 a pack. They are a fantastic deal. I think it works out to something like 14 cents US per envelope and maybe 16 cents Canadian. And you want to place one of your note cards into each envelope. Now, as you can see, the width of each envelope is just perfect for the scalloped note card. And although it is too long, that doesn't matter because you just peel off the backing, you fold it down, and because there's an adhesive there, you just stick it to it and you now have an envelope perfectly sized. So once you have your 3 envelopes together, you're now going to need to create your cardstock topper. Here I have a piece of cardstock that's 5 by 5 and I folded it in half. I want to round the corners with my corner rounder punch. Whoops. Like so. And I'm just going to now hold my envelopes together and I'm going to place my cardstock topper on top of the envelope. So you just want to make sure now that your envelopes are lined up and that your cardstock topper is centered on the top of the envelopes and it's basically touching the tops of the envelopes so that when you hold it together it looks like so. At this point now you want to hang on and you don't want to let go. I'm going to need a brad for my Flower Brads assortment, and I'm just going to take my paper piercing tool and I'm going to pierce a hole through both layers of my cardstock topper as well as through my cellophane bags. I'm now going to take my flower brad and I'm going to insert it through that hole and open it up in the back. So as you can see, that is now what is holding my cello bags in place. At this point, all that's left to do is to tie it shut with a piece of ribbon. Now I measured and cut a 16-inch piece of this striped pumpkin pie grosgrain ribbon, and all I'm going to do is tie it in a knot around the top of my cardstock topper. Whenever you have a wide cardstock topper, it's always nice to use a nice wide ribbon because too thin of a ribbon and it's going to feel like your cardstock topper is missing something. With a wide ribbon, it fills it out nicely and you don't have to worry about stamping or doing anything else to your cardstock. It just makes it that much faster to assemble these. So you now trim your ribbon on an angle with your ribbon scissors and you're done. You see what a quick and easy gift this makes? I'm planning on giving a bunch of these to some teachers and to some friends and co-workers for Christmas. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I look forward to stamping with you again.